I have a friend who is in Abuja who does business, he imports things from China. And there's this medication which I discussed with him to bring into the country from China. It's actually Chinese herbal medication for rheumatic arthritis and all those kind of body pain. We want to see if we can bring in those medication, lots of it, so that we can give it to the old people in our community who are suffering from arthritic, rheumatoid pains, and all kinds of body pain accumulated from the years of toiling and suffering and other things. So it got me thinking. If you go to Igbo villages today, if you go to our communities today, there are lots and lots of people like that who have this pain. Just call your grandmother or your mother tomorrow in the village and ask her how she's doing. Say, oh, my leg is paining me, oh, my waist is this, my other arm is paining me. It's as if they put fire in my leg. Our ancients of days are going through body pain to the extent that we and these pains, this rheumatism, for instance, there's no cure for it. Allopathic medication has no cure. When I say allopathic medication, I mean Ogoibo, Ndocha. Oyibo people, they have no cure for it. They'll just be giving you painkiller upon painkiller, and before you know it, you are hooked on opioids. You are addicted to some drug or something, and it still won't go. Pain relief is the biggest business in the United States today. It's one of the biggest anyway. Because it doesn't, there's no cure for it. They just give temporary solutions, which will be addictive and will even cause things like cancer. So in Igbo land, we are seeing situations whereby our old people, even some of our young people, have this recurring pain. To the extent that we are now going to China to import their herbal medication to treat Igbo people. Does it mean that there is no herbal medication in Igbo land that can take care of us? What if we have those solutions in our community? What if we have followed the ways of our fathers and retained the knowledge our fathers have accumulated for hundreds of years? What if we have followed those ways? Won't we have solutions today for these pains today? What if we have not listened to the Igbo people that brought Christianity and told us that our fathers are devil worshippers? What if we have listened to our fathers, those who love us more than anything in the world, and to listen to our ancestors and retain the knowledge that they have accumulated for hundreds of years and passed down to us? Do you think we'll be going to China today to get their Chinese herbal medication? I see a lot of Nigerians going to India to get medication, going to China for this, to treat infertility, to treat PCOS or in women who do not have regular menstrual period. Meanwhile, our ancestors had this. What if we had listened to them? Do you think our ancestors 300 years ago didn't have pain? They had pain. And they had DBS who would take care of that. There are herbs that grow in our community that the DBS will get, mix it together, and solutions will be provided. But 100 years ago, some white people came and deceived us and told us that our ancestors worshipped the devil. And we believed them. What if we had not believed them? Do you think there won't be a solution for us today? Children of the Most High, the Chinese people that we are going to bring their medication today to treat ourselves, they rejected Christianity. The Christians went to China to preach this nonsense, Jesus died for you and for me and all those nonsense to them. The Chinese told them, look, carry your religion, go somewhere, we already have a religion. The Chinese stayed close to what their fathers have passed down to them for thousands of years. So now, today, Igbos, we that accepted Christianity, Jesus come and cure us now, for where? Jesus come and cure our pain, for where? It's not happening. And we are going to those who rejected Christianity to find solution. If there was solution in Christianity, why are we dying in hospitals? You go to the hospital today, go to your local hospital in your village and ask them, how many people died this year? You'll be surprised with the number. Go to your local hospital in your community, ask them, how many people died in this hospital this year? You will be shocked. For something as simple as body pain or anything, or even convulsion. These are things that a few years ago we had DBS in our communities that knew the herbs that can take care of these things. But we have been deceived to see these people as devil worshippers, and so we don't go to them. And now we are going to China to beg the Chinese for medication. Meanwhile, the Chinese rejected Christianity. The Indians, they rejected Christianity because they know that this is deception. Take a look at, we abandoned the knowledge that our ancestors had accumulated for us. Those of you who are parents, think through this for a minute. If you are trying to explain life to your children, trying to help them to avoid the mistakes that you make, and they are not listening to you, how frustrating do you think that would be? You will notice that the child who listens to you will likely avoid the mistakes because you have seen what that child cannot even imagine. You have experienced those things, and you know, at least you have an idea of a better way to navigate through that kind of situation. That's what happened. Our ancestors have accumulated thousands of years of information. They handed it to us. It is our responsibility to hand it to the next generation. And we abandon that and say it's devil, something that do good for us. We say it's devil. We're calling on Jesus. Jesus, no way. Jesus, where are you now? For where? Jesus, for nobody see Jesus. How many people are sick? How many of all these fake pastors that come and bring out people that are mutilated and say they are curing them? Why don't they go to the hospital and heal the sick? Why don't they go to hospitals and heal those who are sick there? They're not doing that. All these thieves, criminals that come here and say they are curing disease. How many people have been cured? We're here calling on Jesus for thousands of years and he's not coming. And they tell you that you practice a religion where they tell you that you must keep believing, even if it's not working. Just keep believing. If you stop believing, that's when God will know that you're no longer believing, and He will cast you to hell. But all this while that you have been believing, Jesus no come. But after the day you say, okay, I'm done with believing, that's when Jesus will come and put you to hell. What kind of deception is this? And why are we believing that? Look at the Indians. They turned down Christianity. And today, our people are doing yoga, which is an ancient Indian worship. The Indians worship all those fallen angels like Shiva and what are their names? And this worship is embedded in the yoga. This is what their fathers did. This is what their ancestors did. It's good for them. I have no issues with it at all. That is their own. But which one did our fathers keep for us? Does it mean that we have no fathers? Does it mean that we are orphans? Where are our fathers? What did they tell us? What is the philosophy they passed down to us in life? Why are we abandoning it? And why are we taking on the philosophy of those who actually killed and murdered them? Why? What if we had listened to our fathers, children of God? What if we had listened to them? Are we going to be in this situation? Don't you think we'll be in a better situation than we are now? In China. How many of them, look how well they are doing. They rejected Jesus and they're doing well. You accepted Jesus and look at where you are. Look at where your communities are. For those of you who travel abroad, who live abroad, when you come home, look at your village and say, why is Jesus not getting this community better? Why is it that those who rejected Jesus are doing better? Because this is deception, children of God. They have deceived us. And I know that what I'm asking you to do is difficult. When you have been trained by your parents and by people around you to see something, to do something. It's very difficult to go against that grain. But you have to go against the grain. You have to swim against the current. Otherwise, you cannot die in deception. If you realize that you are being deceived, it's time to turn away. And some people will say, my father born me a Christian, I'll always be a Christian. Look, your fathers were deceived too. That's just the truth. They were deceived. What about your grandfathers? Your fathers were deceived by those who killed and raped your grandfathers. It's time for you to stand up and stop this cycle of deception that is going on generationally in our communities. Look at how developed China is. Look at how their people are doing well. They stayed close to their medication, their herbal medication. The Japanese did the same thing. The Koreans did the same thing. The Indians did the same thing. None of these people are Christians. Not one of them. Now you like heaven pass. Now you won't go heaven pass. You are worried about going to heaven. Meanwhile, you're not even living the life you currently have here on earth. Because your ancestors have accumulated knowledge for thousands of years on the climate, on the biology, on your biology, on the forests, on the herbs in your community, and they pass down that knowledge to your fathers, and your fathers say no, they will rather take Jesus. Jesus, come and heal now. How many people are being healed in our communities by this Jesus? How many sick people are being healed? We are dying every day. And those who are DBS, we don't encourage them. That's why most people who are DBS, they just abandon it to go and look for other source of livelihood. Because we don't encourage our healers. We don't encourage our DBS. This knowledge still exists in our community. It's time for us to stand up and start encouraging the people who have this specialized knowledge. Brothers and sisters, as you prepare to travel for Christmas or whatever you're traveling for to go and see your people in the room, put out something, even if it's 50 naira, even if it's 100 naira, put it out to give a dibia in your community. Encourage them for the work they are doing. You don't even have to give the person money. You can give the person gifts. Let's say you don't trust it. You can give the person gift, but at least encourage the DBS in our community to continue doing what they are doing. They are doing a service to our people. They are a library for the future generation, for whatever little knowledge they still retain. Because once this knowledge is lost, it is gone. Our fathers learnt a lot of things. When our communities were jungle filled with leopards and lions, our fathers learned to live with the tsetse fly, learned to live with giant mosquitoes and all kinds of germs and diseases. And they passed this knowledge to us. They passed this information to us. Brothers and sisters, what if we had listened to them? What if we avoided the deception of those who raped, murdered, and sold them, and actually listened to them and kept that knowledge and retained that knowledge? It's not late to listen to your fathers. It's not late to retain the work and the efforts of your ancestors. The Chinese did it and it's working for them. It's not late for us to do it, and it will still work for us. May the Most High bless you. Salam.